Today I'm going to take you inside the mold art chocolate melter because sometimes you have problems with these. This particular one, what it's doing is when I set it, it'll just magically randomly turn itself off. So I'll have it full of chocolate, I'll press the button. Well, there's no button, but I'll turn the dial. It'll, start melting or whatever, and then, check it an hour later and the thing has turned itself off and everything is rock hard in there. I don't know if I'll be able to fix this, but I at least want to show you kind of how this thing opens up in case you have one of these and you want to look into it. The first thing is that, and I have already taken the bottom off, but you'll get the idea. Here's the bottom of the unit, and it has screws all the way around the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what it is. Just this little screw and nut. So anyway, the bottom comes off, and I want to show you what's inside. Notice also there's physical problems, and I think almost all of them that I have some kind of a physical problem, and I'm going to try to fix that too, right? So I actually bought this one used, and someone else has been in here already, like trying to silicone a washer into this, which seems a little hokey at first, but actually is a pretty good idea. These little plastic things that they've got that are indented, they just tend to break. You can see that this one's broken also. See, it's got the hole in it there. I want to do something while I'm got this apart. I want to take a look at that. So I got that off to the side. Also, my light did not work. So I took out the light thing, which I guess I don't have here, but the light connection is here. So here's what the inside looks like. And you can see that basically the heating element has been taped in here in this back and forth pattern. This is where the power comes in here, and one of those wires goes immediately into here, and then the other one just kind of snakes around and goes into our control unit, which is right here. The knob, which I'll show you right here, what happens here with the knob is that you just have to pull it really hard to get it out. So you grab it like this, and I want you to wiggle and pull, and it's difficult to do, but you'll eventually get it off. And the first thing you want to do is clean it. I have cleaned this one already, so you can see it looks decent. Now what's under here is I've just got 2 little retaining screws, and then that will let me get to this controller unit. There's only a couple of main things that's going on in here. There's this thing, which I do wish was better. There's the light control. You can see this thing here. This is where the light goes. And here's the 2 wires. I've already cut the wires because they were broken, and I attached these little connections to it. This will allow me to pop a new light, a replacement light into here. And then the thing that checks the temperature is taped into here, thermocouple or whatever it is. And you'll see that yellow wire goes directly into this unit here. So that's what this thing does. It basically, you turn the knob, and then based on the temperature, it decides whether or not to allow electricity to pass through it, which then turns on the heating element. If this thing breaks, then obviously your heater's not going to work. So I need to know if this thing is broken. I need to see if there's any like loose wire, and I don't see any in here. Of course, this could also be broken. It could be sending an incorrect signal saying, hey, I'm hot enough, and then, then this thing won't pass. So this could be broken. The wires could be broken, or this guy could be broken, and I kind of think this is it. So let me get in there. I'll show you what it looks like. So I said I wanted to do something about this bottom. Here's what you want to buy. There are these washers that they make, and they have a small diameter hole. That washer that is used for fenders, I guess they call it a fender washer. If you get the right size, you'll see it's a perfect fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just basically going to silicone it in here, and I'm going to do that on all 4 of these. The last person who went in here and tried to repair this, they put a bolt through here. I might have to resort to that, but my plan is not to. Just some silicone. Okay, that's on there beautifully. And then I have to do this one as well. Okay, Yeah, that's what that looks like on the other side. So we'll just set this aside and let it dry. Okay, so about a day has gone by here and the silicone has had a chance to set. I'm really happy with this. They're in there, they're sealed in there nicely now. So all we needed to do is get some standoffs, which I did from Amazon. They're just a little rubber and they've got adhesive. I could have also gotten the ones with screws, but I just didn't need it. So yeah, they're sticky. So we'll just basically stick one everywhere. See, so we just cover up the little hole that was there. We just covered them right up. And that's the original one. It's the only one that's lasted. A little more aggressive, I guess. Okay. All right, so that sort of solves the bottom of this thing. It's all kind of corrected. Now, more importantly, let's take a look at the status light. Okay, so there's a little the status light replacement that I bought. You can see it. In this case, they put like a little a nut on it. So the correct location for that, of course, is here. So I'm just gonna install that real quick. Just drop the wires through here. Oh, it's a perfect fit. Got to the thread. I realize my finger's covering it, but all I'm doing is threading this nut on there. Okay, just tighten up a little bit with some pliers. Okay, that's on there. All right, maybe strip these just a little bit better. Really don't need to be this long, but I don't know. I don't feel like cutting it just yet. There's that. There's that. These wires are pretty thin. Just loop them over here. Okay. Now what I'm looking for is, once I turn this thing on, I want to see that light, come on and off in a normal cadence, if this is an accurate indicator of the heating element. So I'm not too concerned about properly connecting all this just yet. I just want to get it flipped over, turned on. And then turn this. See, that indicator light came on. Okay, so I've put the whole thing back together again, adjusted the screws in the back and so on. Plug this in and turn the knob. Now the light just came on. Just before I pressed record on this thing, I did that and the light did not come on. So you can see that if you touch the cord back here and just see what I got. So this is just indicative of a bad cord, right? You manipulate the cord back here. Right, and this has always been kind of a weakness of this design, I think. I don't know, this is pretty good. I mean, it's in there, but these do tend to get worked around quite a bit. Well, duh. Okay, the moment to commit. Not exactly sure how I'm going to rip this out of here, but that is what I'm going to have to do. Okay. So we just need some kind of strain relief system to go through this hole, and then we'll reconnect these wires and we're good to go. Okay, so here we have our little strain release mechanism. You unscrew the top, you're left with this, and the wires go through here. This back also releases. So you put the wires through there, which I'm gonna just do that now so you can see. like this is the cord, right? This is what plugs in to the wall, so the wires come in the opposite direction, like so. I did everything wrong so you could see that what not to do. So this goes first. This little guy's coming out on me for some reason. There we go. Just fish those 2 wires through there. Okay, and this is what will connect inside to the machine. So we'll give about that much space for that. Okay, and then this goes through this hole and connects. And I can see that the hole is just a little bit too small. So I'm just gonna take a drill and open that up very carefully. I don't wanna crack this. And then that'll fit in there against this. So I wound up putting a little knot in this. I didn't really want to do that, but there it is. This strain relief isn't the greatest. Well, I could go get another one. I need to get this back in the shop. So I'm just going to strip these wires off, like so. Show you how to make these final connections. I'm use these little connectors here to make it easy for myself. Because this is AC current, we don't have to worry about polarity here. But we definitely don't want any exposed wires, which we don't have. Okay, so there's our connection. There's our strain. I mean, I could pull pretty hard on that. It's not gonna be a problem. I just don't like making a knot. It's just unfortunate that I had to do that. So we got our light fixed. We got our power done. I don't see any problems in this at all. So I'm just gonna button her up now and we should be all set. Very happy with the way the bottom of this came out. These do have a bit of a direction. I think they do these by hand. So this doesn't quite line up maybe. Flip it around. Yep, now it's perfectly lined up. I'll just put the screws in and we're good to go. Okay, I buttoned it all up. Feeling pretty good about this. The bottom looks fantastic. The strain relief is fine. I think it's, you know, nice and solid. And let's plug it in. Yay, we have a light. I think we're back in business. I got 2 more of these. They all have some similar issue to this. Light's not working or flickering or something. So one at a time, I'll bring them in here and get them back up to par. But like I said, I'm very happy with this machine. You know, I really have nothing bad to say about them, you know, but things break. You gotta do a little bit of maintenance. This is what it is to be a chocolatier. Stuff breaks, you fix it yourself.